My parents had me very young, like in high school. They had an on-again, off-again relationship for my childhood, with my maternal grandparents actually doing most of the parenting until I was 12, and they got married and got their act together. They had my sister 2 years after that. I was always a second thought for them. Our vacations were suited to an infant. Our home was full of stuff for a little kid, not a teen. Whatever. I got out of school and my grandpa helped me get an apprenticeship as a welder. I enjoy the work and the money is great. I have my own rig now and just bought a house. My sister is into ballet and she's really good. She has an opportunity to go to a summer program, but it will cost a lot of money. My parents can't afford it at all. They asked me to help and I said no. They said I should help her because she looked up to me. I said no. They said that I make more money than I need and they will have to go into debt for her to go on this program. I offered to give them back all the money they spent on my extracurricular activities as my contribution. They said I was being an idiot because when I was young they couldn't afford to pay for the stuff I was interested in. I pointed out that they're old and they still can't afford crap. My grandparents said I was too harsh for how I phrased it, but they know that my parents did nothing for me growing up. Am I the idiot? Edit, the training program includes flights and room and board and everything. It was about $20,000. They're asking for $20,000? Are they out of their damn minds? That's some sugar-free audacity. If you ever wish to gift your sister anything, that's your prerogative, but absolutely 100% not your responsibility. OMG, and then to guilt you for being better off than them? Forget that, not the idiot, and I'm proud of you, LOL. $20,000? What kind of school is this? Is it in Paris? They need to stop smoking whatever they're smoking to ask for that amount of cheese. That's what entitled and messed up parents always do. Mine did that. Over-favour its spoiled child and neglect the other. When we're all in a better place than them, they would guilt us. Right, if little sis was so talented, she'd be getting scholarships. $20,000 is what you pay when your parents are convinced you're going to be the next Instagram ballerina and they found some elite program promising to get her there. Your parents can pick up extra jobs, take out a loan or drop the issue. Such programs are a want, not a need. Exactly. Ballet is extremely expensive to pursue and pays peanuts. Lots of professional ballerinas are being subsidized by their parents, and this is after the pricey tuition for pre-professional programs, quant shoes, costumes, YAGP competitions, etc. Unless your sister is a phenom, in which case she'd be rolling in scholarship offers, there's little to no chance she goes on to have a career if your parents can't afford one summer program. This is to say, if anyone tries to tell you that you're ruining her chance at a professional ballet career by refusing to pay, I assure you that you're not. I offered to give them back all the money they spent on me as my contribution. This made my petty self so freaking happy. I love the response. You offered them nothing because they gave you nothing. You earned it with what seems to be no help from them. How many kids in your situation grow up messed up because of parents like that? And now they want a handout for getting lucky you weren't messed up? Good job getting to where you are in life. Support your grandparents as they age. They're the ones who've been there for you. I, 28 female, have a tween son, Julian, who's pretty close with my nephew, his cousin, Parker. You can't separate them when they eat together. I live 2 blocks from my brother, his wife, and Parker. I asked my brother on Friday if Parker wanted Julian to spend the weekend at his house since it was a long weekend. My brother said they'd already made plans. I asked what plans and maybe Parker would like Julian to tag along so he has a playmate. He said it was something for his wife. On Saturday I found out that my brother had lied. Parker actually had a slumber party. I found out because I saw them all walking to Denny's yesterday morning. I called my brother out and he said he didn't want my son to feel left out, so he lied. He said it didn't feel right to have an innocent younger tween around a bunch of older tween boys because they'd eat him alive. I said that was BS and he needed to text Julius right now and ask if he'd like to join this weekend slumber party because he'll be crushed if he found out he was left out. He said no. So I ended up calling our mom, who lives with my brother, and explained the situation. That caused much drama between her, my brother and my sister-in-law. But my son got invited and declined because he's holding out to go to the aquarium. My brother was livid and I said that if he'd asked in the first place then none of this would have happened and there would be no drama. Info: why do you think your tween son should be invited to an older tween slumber party? Why do you think your son should spend a 3-day weekend at your brother's house? Why did you run to your mummy about an issue that didn't involve her? You are the idiot. Your son sounds more mature than you do. What an entitled, out-of-touch mommy's girl she is. She's going to cause big trouble for her kid. If he has a growth spurt, no doubt he'll be entitled to hang out with the 16-year-olds because they're the same size. LOL. If I were the brother, I'd distance myself from her too. I feel bad for her son. The brother wants to include the son but does not have to deal with his sister. OP, you wanted a weekend free from Julian and got mad that your brother didn't want to go along with it. You're not entitled to push your kid off on other people, nor is your brother obligated to include your son in everything he does with his kid. Also, poor sister-in-law already has your mother-in-law living with them and watching the nephew whenever his mom wants to dump the kid. OP, why didn't you invite Parker over to your place? Seriously, who calls someone and says, "Hey, I thought your kid might want my kid to come over to your house for the 3-day weekend," and then gets angry that the other kid has plans already? You can't just invite yourself over to someone else's house when you feel like it. Both boys are allowed to live separately and don't have to do everything together, family or not. You're being very disrespectful and bratty. I can't believe you rattled onto your mom like a baby. Maybe you're the reason why your brother wants to distance his family from yours because of your selfish and unhinged behavior and mindset. But you're a parent. Grow up and be respectful. I, 26 male, have little patience for the shows my wife, 25, likes to watch. I usually watch movies about cars and hardcore action, but my wife likes animation and fantasy. So she tried getting me into Game of Thrones and we watched the first episode. I didn't feel like going through it, but we made it to season 2. But by the first episode of season 2, I'd already skipped the opening, and my wife asked why and kept saying the music was good. Finally, I got sick of her non-stop nagging about this show, so I answered, "Because I'm tired of this show's crappy music, and I want to get to the episode already." She asked if I wanted to watch something else, and I said yes because I got sick of it. She put on Dexter, and I got tired of it. I asked if we could skip some episodes. She said no and said, "Why would we do that?" I said because I'm tired of these boring episodes and how they barely have any value. I want to get to the interesting parts. My wife then cried and said I never seem to enjoy anything with her. I comforted her, but I explained that I dislike the type of shows she watches and I don't want to get dragged into them, especially since I don't drag her into my shows. She stopped crying but said I'm being uptight and rude about it. I disagreed. However, some mutual friends think I was an idiot and should have put up with the shows. You are the idiot, my guy. When your wife is trying to watch something with you, she's trying to make a bid for connection. It's less about the show itself and more about the experience. She wants to do something she enjoys with you and have you enjoy it as well, or at least not openly denigrate her interests. Interests and tastes are hugely personal things, and things like what you said to her are awful insults to someone you care about. Apologize to her. If you can't stand sitting through her shows, find something you both enjoy or can tolerate and she enjoys to watch together. Make a good faith effort to see what she likes and lift her up. But yeah, you're a major idiot for the way you responded to her. Yeah, it's all about the bids. Couples that never accept each other's bids don't do well in the long term. Admittedly, TV is not the right venue for these two, given how different their tastes are, but damn, if I shared stuff with my partner that I liked and valued as entertainment, and he called boring and crappy and said he just wanted to get it over with, or get to the good parts, I don't know if I would ever show him something I was excited about again. Come on, can we get to the bam, pow from pew, 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 wow already? Enough of this useless talking. OP, probably. Dude, that's your wife, your life partner. She's trying to show you something she loves in the hopes of sharing that joy with you, and your response is, turn this crappy boring show off. Jesus, you are a huge idiot. Ugh, you sound like an ex-friend of mine. He wanted to show me The Godfather, but kept fast-forwarding through the girly parts. What were the girly parts? All of the dialogue. So I guess I still haven't seen The Godfather. Even though we watched it his way several times, I have yet to learn what the plot is. You're so rude and dismissive. You act like you're insulted by those shows, which are quite entertaining and action-packed. Those shows are fine for the most part, but it sounds like you don't like your wife. I'm a hairstylist. I had a mum book her daughter in for a trim and colour with me. I'm not their usual stylist. The stylist they usually go to is on holiday and I was recommended to them by a friend. When the mum booked the trim and colour, she specified that her daughter had long hair and asked if that was okay for me to handle. The receptionist said yes because I have a lot of clients with waist-length hair. Waist length is usually the longest hair I'll cut. I've never had a client with hair longer than this. Unfortunately, I can't kneel down for long due to issues with my knee. I'm awaiting surgery. When they turned up for the appointment, the daughter had her hair up in a bun so I couldn't see the full length of her hair. The mum thanked me for fitting her daughter in. She said that when their usual stylist isn't available, getting her daughter an appointment can be difficult due to her hair length. When the daughter sat in my chair, I asked her to take her hair down so I could brush through it before we started her ombre colour. When she took her hair down, I noticed it was much longer than I expected. I asked her how long her hair was, and she said it was knee length. She brushed her hair back so that it was all going down the back of the chair, and it was well past the length I was comfortable cutting at. I would have had to kneel down to colour and cut her hair. I waved the mum over and told the daughter to remove the gown. I apologised to the mum and told her that I couldn't cut her daughter's hair due to its length. I explained that it was too long for me to cut as I couldn't kneel down to cut her hair. Understandably, the mum was upset that I was refusing to cut her daughter's hair. She demanded the booking fee back. I informed her that the £50 booking fee was non-refundable and that she would have been told this when booking. She then demanded to speak to the salon manager. I told her I would get her the owner. The owner of the salon did refund her money. However, she told me that I shouldn't have taken the booking if I couldn't cut my hair that long. I told her that the length had never been specified to me. The receptionist was just told long, and that long hair in our area is usually no longer than waist length. She knows I can't kneel without being in pain. The mum has since been writing on the Facebook page of the salon, complaining that I refused to cut her daughter's hair because she can't actually cut long hair. I feel bad that the mum is upset about this, but at the same time it was never specified how long her daughter's hair actually was. Am I the idiot for refusing to cut extremely long hair? You are the idiot. There seems to be a miscommunication here. Mum thought she had communicated everything she needed to. She didn't have any way of knowing that there's a length that you can't cut because of your knee issues. Where you stray into idiot territory is how you responded to her when she asked for her booking fee to be refunded. Booking fees stop people from not showing up and wasting an opportunity that could have been given to someone else. Immediately refusing the refund for something that wasn't her fault but rather an unfortunate circumstance was terrible customer service. Booking fees stop people from not showing up and wasting an appointment that could have been given to someone else. And by misleading the receptionist about how much hair her daughter had, she did just that. Knee length is more than long, in my opinion. That's the kind of length you'd alert a salon to when scheduling an appointment. OP's not the idiot. I disagree, you are the idiot. For about 3 times the booking fee, you can purchase a chair that would be high enough to accommodate any length of hair, assuming it's not dragging on the floor. I suspect some type of booster chair would work too in a pinch, or just set the whole chair on a raised platform. There are solutions to your kneeling problem that can be solved relatively inexpensively without requiring you to turn customers away. So I, 30 female, got married. Yay. It was my dream wedding, everything went off without a hitch. Except for one small thing. My niece's teen dress. It was a white, lacy, knee-length dress. She even wore lace elbow-length gloves. Honestly, it looked just like a wedding dress. Didn't say anything to her or her parents, my brother and sister-in-law, in the moment, and I tried my best to ignore it. But when I got the first drafts back from our photographer, I couldn't stand it when I saw her in her white dress standing next to me. My husband saw how upset I was and suggested we pay extra to Photoshop my niece's dress to light blue. We thought it through, and since we had some budget left, we went for it. Well, last week we got the final photos back and they looked great. I could hardly even tell that my niece was originally wearing white and she still looked really nice. I posted some of the photos on social media and my sister-in-law messaged me and was angry that I photoshopped my niece without checking with her, my sister-in-law, first. She accused me of thinking my niece was ugly and of body-shaming her. To be clear, I didn't have her body photoshopped, only the colour of her dress and gloves. I don't think I'm in the wrong, but this situation has been stressing me out. So, am I the idiot? Not the idiot. If she didn't want the dress to be photoshopped, she shouldn't have let her daughter attend a wedding in a lacy white dress. The nerve of that woman. Sister-in-law is ticked. She's probably the one who helped pick the dress and gloves and encouraged this. Niece may not know, doubtful at her age, but sister-in-law did. Exactly this. Sister-in-law knew that she couldn't wear a white dress to upstage OP without getting side eyes, so she had her 16-year-old wear it so they could plead ignorance. She knows exactly why her daughter's dress was photoshopped, and she's going to pretend she thinks it was her daughter who was photoshopped so that she can pick the fight she always wanted. Sister-in-law thinks she's so clever, but everybody knows. I've heard an excuse for this before that was basically the sister-in-law was super religious and thought it was inappropriate for a non-virgin bride to wear white. She dressed her pure teenage daughters in white to give a middle finger to the floozy bride. Spoiler alert, the daughters weren't virgins either. Absolutely diabolical. I love it. Pretty funny that sister-in-law wanted you to ask her permission to Photoshop the picture, but she didn't get your permission for her daughter to wear a wedding dress to your wedding. Considering that it bothered you, I think you handled it as tastefully as possible.